Friends, Fever fans, welcome back to another episode of the Fever Replay Podcast, your home of a weekly breakdown of Fever games and news. As always, we're brought to you by the love of the game. Sometimes the only way out is through for the love of the game. I am your host, as always, Chris Ord, and this time I'm alone. That's right, we also had a hit to our roster. Just like the Fever, Keisha is down and out this week. She's doing fine. A storm, apparently, just completely knocked out her internet. So we were gonna just not record, but Keisha said, this was too big a week. Too much happened, Chris. You gotta go out there. You gotta do it. You gotta do it for the love of the game. And I was like, you know what, Keish? You're right. So here I am. I'm not doing too great. I was sick all last week, which meant it was really hard for me to catch the games live, especially the one that happened at 10 p.m. Eastern. Oh, that was the game versus the Mercury. It was a bad one. And it was painful to watch after the fact when you already knew what happened. That was not an enjoyable experience for me to watch. But let's go over it. If you haven't heard, it was a tough one. Not only did we lose to the Mercury, but we also lost two of our guards. Aari McDonald had to leave the game, and then later we were told that she had a broken foot and won't be back for the rest of the season. And Syd Colson sadly tore her ACL and will also be out for about a year. Oh, not great. Not great. Syd went down. She only had about a minute in the game. You get a really good look at what happened. She was trying to move around the person guarding her, and she just kind of landed funny and kind of twisted as she was landing. Her knee goes the wrong direction. It was sad. The whole team came around her. The crowd there was very respectful, clapped for her as she got up, but it did take a while. It was sad. And you can tell our team was pretty shell-shocked. She is, for sure, one of our veteran leaders. Is a big deal, even if she's not playing a lot of minutes and she's not getting a ton of time out on the court. It's really clear that she is a vocal leader of our team and someone that everyone looks up to. So you could tell the Fever were playing pretty shell-shocked after she got hurt. And then when it came to Aari, that one was a lot quieter. So, me watching it back, I could see the moment. She goes up for a rebound, and she kind of makes like a little longer leap than I think she was expecting. Her foot, I think, just like glanced off an opposing player's foot, and she just kind of lands a little different, and she hobbles a little bit. She goes over to the corner. You can see her grabbing it, but they're talking about Bonner during this time. There was a lot of talk about Bonner. We'll get into that in a moment. But it was really kind of frustrating, even heartbreaking to watch, knowing what was happening, because it was a Mercury home game, and the commentators were very focused on the Mercury and what were going on with them. And they never even noticed that our starting point guard was out of the game and actually went to the locker room. You could see it all happening in the background. It felt like a Where's Waldo or something, seeing Aari in the back, seeing the coaches going back and forth, her with a towel on her head, and then she and a coach kind of limp out to the locker room, and then you see Steph talking with one of the coaches going back and forth. And you could see the news kind of spread on the bench into the team, but nothing was really said on the broadcast about it. But yeah, unfortunately, she broke her foot. This is tough, guys. This is not good. So that leaves us Caitlin Clark, obviously our starting point guard. And then we brought in Aari to replace her. She did a fantastic job. We've talked about that a lot. She's hurt. And the backup to Aari was Syd. So technically, for the Mercury game and then for the next game, we had no point guards in our roster at all. The good news is we just signed somebody tonight. Her name is Odyssey Sims. We haven't seen her play yet. We just found out she was signed. She seems like somewhat of a veteran player. She is listed as a point guard. So I literally don't know anything about her, unfortunately. Just what I've read up about her. That definitely is something Keisha can help us with when she comes back. But in 2014, she was the second round overall draft pick. So, not bad there. Looks like she's played a lot of places in the W. She's played in the AU. She's kind of played all over the world. It looks like she did play most recently with the Sparks this year. She was waived on July 2nd. She played 12 games with them. So we do actually have a point guard on our team, which is, that's good. That's better than none. I would say right now for our team, we are definitely at a crossroads. We have a little bit of time left to kind of establish our placement going into the playoffs. It's not guaranteed we're going to go. We got a good shot at it. We don't have Caitlin. We don't really know when she's going to come back. If you were to ask me, and this is not based off any inside knowledge or anything, I would expect that if we look like a good team, like we look like a complete team, that she will come back for the playoffs, maybe a couple games before to get her kind of warmed up. But if we don't look like a complete team that has a legitimate shot, she would just rest the rest of the year. That's my feeling on the subject. We don't really know anything else. We just know that she's resting for her long-term health. That's all we've been told. So I feel like that's why, to me, this moment is so important. We just got dealt 2 more injuries, really bad luck. We still have those 3 things that we talked about last podcast. We still have. We still have star power because we still have Aaliyah and Kelsey, who are both absolutely fantastic and work well together. We still have synergy because our team is actually not looking bad, especially versus the Sky, which we'll go over really soon. And our bench isn't bad either. We have this one position that's kind of rough, the point guard position. And if we can handle this the right way, we might be able to still come out of this season with a team that plays well and looks complete and might be ready for Caitlin to come back for a nice playoff push. But we could also just crumble under just too many hits. Our team's taken a lot of hits. They've been through a lot of adversity, and they've done really well with it. But at some point, you got to ask yourself, was that the straw that breaks the camel's back? And we're going to find out. We got some information from the last 2 games. So besides the injuries, when we look at the Mercury game, we can see, first off, there was definitely the shell shock effect on the team. Regardless of if the commentators knew, the bench, the whole team knew Colson's gone, and they knew when Aari was gone as well. And I felt like when we get punched in the mouth by a very good Mercury team that's looking healthy, they got Sabali back. Thomas was doing great. She got her 3rd triple-double in a row, and we had Bonner, who seemed very angry at us, all doing really well. When they would punch us in the mouth, we would kind of stagger a little bit. That's what it looked like to me. And I'd attribute that to the shell shock. But what they were doing against us was really effective and something we need to look at because it's happened a couple times this year. But they packed the paint. They were running a zone. You would often see Aaliyah in there versus 3 bigs in the paint. And she was having trouble, 1, scoring, 2, dishing the ball out because she was completely surrounded and kind of had no visibility. And it wasn't like we were responding very quickly to be able to help her out of those situations. So that, I feel like, was very effective against us. And it was made even worse by the fact that we had horrible shooting. We shot 23% from the 3-point line. Oh, not good. Lexi Hull's woes continued, and even Kelsey Mitchell was having a lot of trouble scoring. And then I don't even think that AB had a point in the first half. She did score eventually. She was trying her hardest, but like I said, we just kind of kept running into this brick wall of very solid defenders in the paint, and you could tell that was their goal, was to stop us right there, and it seemed to work, especially in light that we just couldn't hit a three-pointer. It was really rough. Now, when we look at the sky, this, to me, was the first thing that gives us a couple answers on what the team wants to do dealing with this lack of point guard. And in the sky, Stephanie White's answer was, we have a lot of great ball handlers, which we do. Honestly, if you look at our team, more than half of them are comfortable taking the ball across half court and initiating our offense. Not that they're all going to do it all the time, but they're comfortable doing it. Some of them are extremely comfortable. AB, obviously, is fantastic. We've decided that Lexi, that Sophie, that Kelsey, all three of them kind of have our full trust to handle the ball. And then in transition situations, it looked like we were not asking Natasha Howard to pass it right away, that we could kind of still push the pace. So it felt like our identity of pushing the pace, moving the ball around, is still something that we believe can exist with the current lineup we have. And, you know, first off, just historically, the last 2 years anyway, we've been fantastic versus the Sky. So this wasn't like the toughest test for us. But I always like to think when you're looking at a team and asking questions about them, you want to know what they look like at their best. You want to know what they look like. Okay, even if you're facing a team you know how to beat, can you do that? Can you do the thing that you think you're good at? Does it work? And I think we saw versus the Sky, yes, it does. There's still the big question mark, what happens? What happens when we're put to the test? We'll have to find out. That brings me back to that Crossroads mentality. We need to figure it out. Where are we? Are we going to be able to do this? What I could say is I did enjoy the amount of size that we got on the court. So, you know, if you take out the one, and now our twos are ones, and then our threes are fours, and our fours are fives, all of a sudden, you notice we only have two shorter people on the court. It might be like, you know, Sophie and Lexi. But then the people out there are Boston. You know, we had Timpson out there playing really solid minutes, getting a lot of rebounds, getting free throws. And then you have like Howard out there, or even Chloe Bibby. And these are big, strong players. And if we get to have three of them out on the court now that there is the space on our lineup, there's not as many guards choking up the floor, we look like a big, strong, physical team. And all of those people I named are not just big, strong, physical, but they're fast and they're smart. Our versatility, in a way, kind of got better. Now, I don't know that our team got better losing Aari and Syd, but sizing up and kind of having better athletes on the floor is not the worst thing that could have happened. I'm really hopeful that this can still work. This is still a fantastic team. I think we can do it, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough road ahead, that's for sure. First off, I'm really sad that you guys had to miss out on Keisha just getting to talk a little smack because her Mercury did look fantastic. I'm also sad that you guys miss out on this because, I don't know, it really kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Bonner's attitude. Now, first off, she's a person, and I get it. She's a person, she's a professional, she had to make moves for herself. She obviously seems like a much better fit where she's at, but it just, her anger to me, more than anything, confused me. One, I get it, because like, okay, she's a competitor and she's trying to light a fire under herself so she can have a big game. Okay, I get that. But I was also just like, it's so weird for you to be angry at us. because you left us. Not only did you leave us, but we paid you more, even with only the partial payout of your contract, than you're getting paid on your current contract. So you got to go to a place you feel good. You got to get paid twice. I'm not sure why you're so mad at us about it. That's kind of weird to me. But like I said, she's a real human person. So I get it. Human people, they get mad about things. But that was just a little odd. I'll be happy to see her doing well when she's not playing against us. Let's say that. Because a league with DeWanna Bonner playing well is a better league. So that's where we'll leave that. All right. So since we're at this crossroads, let's look at what we have to face. So on Tuesday, we got the Wings with Paige Buckets. On Friday, we're playing the DC Mystics. And then on Sunday, we're playing the Sun. Now, first off, just kind of like a top-down view here, all three of those teams are under 500. So presumably, and looking at the rest of our season, this is a stretch of games that we're supposed to win. But that's also the thing that does make you nervous, because we're presumably at our weakest personnel-wise we've been since the season started. And we have these winnable games. We have to win them. We just have to. Because if we can't win these, what's going to happen when we're playing the Lynx? We're playing the Sparks, who we haven't figured out how to beat. The Valkyrie. Mercury again. Lynx. This is not good. So even though these are under 500 teams, not games we can sleep on even a little. They're absolute must-win games. And we'll find out if we have what it takes to beat them. We'll find out together, shall we? Well, don't worry. Keisha will be back. Unlike our beloved guards, Aari and Syd, I can tell you for sure that Keisha will be back next week. But I hope you are all doing well. Keep your heads up. I think we can do this. If you ask me, this is a good team. This is a special team. We got a good coach. And at any point in the next couple of weeks, we're going to see Caitlin Clark coming over that hilltop just like Gandalf in the Two Towers with the sun rising. And we'll be like, oh, they're coming. The Eagles are coming. I know I just mixed the two movies, but don't worry. I think she's going to come right when we need her. This could still be a fantastic year, but we're going to find out this weekend next. That's for sure. All right, Fever fans, hang in there. Say a prayer for your girls, and we'll see you next week. Bye.